In this video, I will explain the program mode of the Liviau S system. The Liviau system doesn't need programmation, only configuration. To go into the program mode, you need to click on the Live Mode button and the system will ask for a password. If you now click on the Advertising button, you're able to change the videos behind the buttons. If there's already a file assigned to the button, you can unassign the file, assign a new video file and edit the entry description. You can only select video files that are stored on the internal storage. That way, the manager of the venue has full control over the videos that can be played. For each video, you can choose if it needs to loop or not. Scheduler. You will see that all fields become active so that you can set your time events. You can do a test and turn the scheduler on. Press to talk. You can select the attenuation, how much does the background audio needs to drop, and you can select the mic input. You can also disable this function. In this case, the microphone will be active all the time. When it's enabled, the microphone will only be active while you hold and press the Press to Talk button. In the program mode, the Liviau settings wheel becomes visible. On top you can find the version info to check if the latest software version is running on the system. Next are the audio settings. Input level. Here you can set the maximum input level for each input and you can combine lines. So you can change a mono line into a stereo line. Output level. Here you can set the maximum output level for each output and you can combine lines. Input EQ. You can do the equalizing for each input and make sure this button is hidden for the end user by ticking this box. Output EQ. You can do the equalizing for each output and make sure this button is hidden for the end user by ticking this box. Routing matrix. For each output, you can decide what inputs can go there and on what level. That way you can control up to 4 stereo zones. If there's a big sound system in the room with subwoofers, there's a crossover and threshold limiter built in for each output. And of course, you can change the names of the inputs and the outputs. GPO settings. With the Liviau S system, you can use up to 6 GPOs. For each GPO, you can set the active state and tell the system if it needs constant level or just a pulse. LCD backlight timeout. The system doesn't have an on-off button, but as long as it has power, the system will keep on running. When a touchscreen isn't used between 15 and 600 seconds, the display will go into sleeping mode. At the top middle of the display, you will find a proximity sensor. When you touch this sensor, the display will wake up and become active again. In this menu, you can set the time when the display can go into sleeping mode. While it's in sleeping mode, video, light and audio will keep on running. Administration submenu. File Manager. You need to use a file manager to get content on the internal storage. It's just a copy-paste from USB to internal storage. You put your files on a USB stick, you select the files that you want, go to Actions and select Copy. Then go to the internal storage directory, select a folder and do a paste. Calibrate proximity sensor. The sensor is already calibrated before it leaves the factory. When the Liviau gets installed or moved to another position in the room, you can do the calibration again. Remote access configuration. There is a remote control built into the system. That means that you can take over the user interface to any mobile device or PC, and you can control and configure the system from anywhere in the world. There's a TeamViewer host running on the background. This way, you can connect to the system using the free TeamViewer 12 application on your mobile device or PC. You can find a video of the remote control on our YouTube page. Ethernet configuration. Here you can do the configuration of the Ethernet. Save current configuration, export saved configuration to USB, and restore configuration from USB. You can save the configuration you made and export it to USB so that you have a backup of the system. You can also restore this configuration from USB back to the same Liviau system or another Liviau system. Factory reset, this will reset the configuration. Technical settings. This is a menu protected with a password that only can be accessed by the manufacturer and his distributors. Last but not least, you can do the configuration of the lights. If you click on the Options button in the Light section, you will see that there are extra buttons visible. Edit Cue, Edit Effect Generator, Edit Fixture, and a Test button. With Liviau S you can control intelligent movable lights and dimmer controlled lights. First, you need to tell the system what type of lights or fixtures you're going to use. Edit Fixture. For each fixture, you need to set the type, intelligent or dimmer. If you select intelligent, you need to manually set the DMX channel for each function, pen, tilt, color wheel, and set the start address. If you select dimmer type, you will see that there is an 8-channel dimmer for each fixture. So per fixture you can control up to 8 circuits of architectural lights connected to a DMX dimmer module. For each circuit you can set the dimmer channel. You can also set the start address of that DMX dimmer module. After setting up all fixtures, you can start editing your cues. Click on Edit Cue and select the Cue button. You can select the fixtures that you want in that queue, and the first page is a sequence page. Here you can create up to 6 steps. For each step you can select the step time or even add a fade step time. You can select the queue mode, toggle or flash. Flash can be used for strobe, for example. You can also put your queues into 8 possible queue groups. When you're changing queues in one group, all queues in the other groups will stay untouched. When you swipe to the left, you come to the movement page. Here you can set the pen, pen fine, tilt and tilt fine. The next page is a colors page. Here you can change the color of your lights. Then we have the gobo page, where you can select the gobos that you want and the gobo rotate. Then we have the effects page, where you can set the iris, prism focus and shutter. Next is the dimmer section. Here you can set the level of the dimmer controlled lights. The last page is a special page. Here you can add functions that are not predefined when you're setting up your fixtures. Edit Effect Generator. You can create 5 extra effects for your intelligent movable lights. For each effect, you can choose between 4 movements: circle left, circle right, linear, or figure 8. You just need to set the pen and tilt size and speed. After this, the Liviau system is ready for use. Thank you for listening.